Welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. This is the Weyerman's Merry Monks. Steal the yeast, reproduce the beer, and ferment the beer. Before I go moving this beer, and I just covered it just to make sure it's all good, brought it out earlier this morning, I want to show you something I'm doing. As some of you have seen my video with the float it, or flot it, F-L-O-T-I-T, which was really cool. And then you've seen the keg buoy, with and without the filter, which like I said, the filter really is more of pushing it up when it hits the bottom. So that way it's sitting there and not grabbing all the gunk, or at least it reduces the amount of gunk it can grab. Well, flot it or float it has come out with a 2.0. This isn't it. I'm already testing it. But what I did get is Trog sent me a second filter, and maybe I should show it to you like this. It has a 300 micron filter inside coil, and then it has a 500 micron filter on the outside. So that way, if any particles are small enough to get in, it'll hit the 300 micron and hopefully stop. And that way you get to the very bottom and you get that last drop of beer with no problem. He said, hey, you know what? You can modify the kegland buoy or the floating buoy or whichever company you're buying it from and put their ball on it and use that. And I was like, I'm gonna try that. And the reason is the Flot It 2.0 is a little different in design on this piece, so I didn't want to use that. I wanted to take advantage of the ball, at the same time taking advantage of the filter to make sure that the filter is getting down into the trub, but not getting any of the trub and getting basically just liquid. But I'm not using it in here. I'm gonna put it in the keg because I'm only doing 1 gallon and I want to get every last drop, and that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm trying to get this stupid hose on there and I want it to be tight. I tried different hoses and actually the little ones I used for the Duo-Tight fits perfectly in there, but it's a little loose and it's on the inside. I'd prefer it on the outside and nice and snug. So I would tell you to get water really hot, but yeah, this is boiling about 20 seconds ago. I won't say 2 minutes ago, about 20 seconds ago. Okay, that should be nice and soft. Oh yeah, super soft. Let's just see if I can get it over it. There we go. As I'm burning my fingers a little. Plastic is very, very hot. You want to get over the first notch no matter what. If you can get over the second notch, even better. And if you can't get it off, who cares? You can cut it off with a razor blade. Okay, we're going for the first notch and a half. Actually, no, 2. We got 2.5 notches. I'm all good with that. And it's a little hard here. I've gotten this over without it, but this will make life easier, a lot easier. Yeah, you've got other issues. I don't think that's coming off. But on this end, because I touched the counter, even though the counter should be relatively clean. Ooh, better trick, make the metal hot. It slides in like butter. All good. Snug that up, nice and snug. You don't want to overdo it either, because you could tear the silicone tubing. And I think one of these is the right size. Yeah, there we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, that's the liquid side. Okay, now we're gonna purge the CO2, or the O2, with CO2. That sounds like it's blowing air in there. Would not be a good thing. Okay, here we go. Do a couple things. One, put that on there, let the air out so we got liquid. There we go. Then I'm gonna turn around and I wanna take this hot water, take this right here, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna put my finger in there to get some of the liquid going. Not doing what I was hoping it was doing. Okay, so we got a little oxygen in there, not very much. And there it goes. And the liquid is flowing. Ah, crap. Okay, we can take the top off, it doesn't matter. CO2 is heavier than oxygen. Oxygen will be sitting up top. Wow, very aromatic in a good way. All that Belgian esters. Smells great. I'll have to cold crash it and carbonate it and see what it tastes like, so hopefully it'll nail this bad boy. And that's it, we're just gonna let it gravity feed It's flowing, I can see it. I see little air bubbles, but it's okay, we'll purge it. The air bubbles were from what a little bit of oxygen was up in there. Tiny bit, it's not pure oxygen. All good. Okay, I know you just saw me do the gravity transfer, but it's been about a week and a half. I carbonated, it's in a 1.75 gallon keg. It's only a gallon of triple. But this is the taste testing. I brought Drew, my oldest son. Would have brought my youngest, but he's only 19. That probably would be frowned upon. And plus, he's never had a beer. So this is the Weyerbacher Tripel, Mary Monk's.
Yep.
I don't know if Drew's even ever had that.
Never actually.
So we're gonna compare that beer, which I stole the yeast from, got a copy of the recipe, made the same thing in a 1 gallon in a pot in the kitchen, ferment it, and threw in the keg, which you could have bottled if you don't have a kegerator. And we're gonna compare them. We're gonna see what they taste like. I'm holding the mic here because I don't have a dual mic and I can't find my shotgun mic due to the move, so it is what it is. I'm gonna just set that right here and we'll talk towards it for now and hand it back and forth, whatever we have to do. Let me get this pouring. First, we've got the Weyerbacher. And he's very tired. He just drove from North Carolina, so he's a little tired. He may only take a few sips and have to go home and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the Weyerbacher. Now let's take this, and yes, I'm out. These little Hooters glasses, and the rest of them are in packaging, or should we say packed up. Oh, and I got foam, never good. Okay, I relieved some of the pressure. Well, I can tell you right now, the clone has better head retention. Is it me or is one look a little, well, first of all, I did almost drop the keg this morning. So this one's not as clear.
Not as clear, yeah.
It's not as clear, and it also looks like the original is a little lighter in color. Now, keep in mind, it's the same yeast, maybe not the exact same malt, but the same basic malt. So we're gonna do a taste test of what Weyerbacher tastes like, so we know what we're expecting. Aromatics are nice, mellow, nothing major.
That's really good, though.
It's got a lot going on. Got all the Belgian esters.
Yeah.
Definitely taste some fruit. I just can't tell what the fruit is. It tastes maybe pear.
That's kind of how it is at triples, though.
Good point. I don't know if I get the bubble gum or not that I get sometimes in Belgians. Maybe a tiny hint, but the majority is fruit. A lot of fruit.
Yeah, I don't really get any bubblegum, which is a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I avoid that like the plague. And sadly, Imperial yeast, you do have one. You mentioned that, and I have not used it because of that. Okay, very nice. I don't want to drink too much because I want to know what this tastes like, and I might be hitting foam more than he will initially, but... And I'll put the ABV, the OG, FG up because I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll put them up there. It'll clear after a few days, so as far as clarity, I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
It smells really good.
Yeah, I got foam. The smell is very similar. It's a little lighter, but very similar. Okay, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it does taste a lot like that, but the mouthfeel is a little lighter to me. A little, not a lot.
It is very similar.
Same yeast. I will tell you.
Yeah, same. No, like no bubble gum or anything.
Yeah, I will say I probably should have given it a little, like another 1 or 2 rounds on a fresh starter. It took almost 3 days before the yeast really started doing its job. I was a little concerned, kind of freaking out that I was going to have to do the whole experiment over again, but it did start working. Okay, I'm starting to get the aromas, and they smell like I can't really tell.
It has a better finish on it.
Yeah.
But it may just need a couple days to chill out a little bit. So
I get a lot of the same fruit.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Weyerbacher, I might be stretching it. Tastes a tiny bit more acidic. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, really, in a blind taste test, I'd be kind of hard pressed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Yeah. Honestly, I really wouldn't either. If you handed me the clone and showed me this bottle, I wouldn't question you at all. I would just enjoy it and say thank you. And I could be serving this all night long as a clone and lying to you and telling you it was this. And you would be just a merry monk. Yeah, you would be merry monk and woohoo, I'm happy. Especially, what was that, 9.2, 9.3?
9.3.
Yeah, at 9.3, after about 2 of those, you wouldn't care what it was called. You would be a very merry monk. Appreciate Drew stopping by. I know he's really tired. He wants to get the heck out of here and go to sleep. Thank you again for joining us at Bitter Reality Brewing. I hope if you're not into a bunch of brewing equipment, you can see just how easy it is to clone a beer you like, especially if it's a Belgian and happens to have the yeast in there and it's not damaged. It's so simple. And you could have bottled it. You wouldn't have had to keg it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. Definitely appreciate the sharing. Thank you again.
Have a good one.
And that's it.